Welcome to the ENYTiNG Gender Podcast with your host, Sharmin Prince, a certified gender equality changemaker. In this show, we tackle the pressing issues of gender inequality and bias that many of us face daily. Together, we'll explore how these challenges manifest in our lives and workplaces. Our mission is to raise awareness.
Tom is an award-winning technical. Okay, let me do that again. Tom is an award-winning technology leader with over 30 years of experience transforming companies like Kenya Airways and Unilever. He's a strategist, a CIO of the year, a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, and very personally, a father of 5 daughters. Tom, thank you for making time for this important conversation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and very happy to be here today.
Tom, your expertise is in building secure, efficient systems. But today I want to apply that lens to the unsafe space we call the internet, the digital world, the online world. And I'm thinking, where should I start?
Yeah, thank you. I think maybe I can save you on that. Yeah. So, like you've correctly said, I'm a father of 5 girls. So, and about 30 years experience in tech. And I think for me, in terms of the topic at hand today, my main interest in talking about it is because, especially when it comes to gender-based violence, is something which is close to my heart. Because personally, I'm a father to girls, so I know out there they can be exposed to a lot of danger. So I think I took it upon myself, other than the fact that I'm in tech, but I also took it upon myself to just see what I can do to help protect the female gender from harmful gender-based violence, which is technologically perpetuated. And I think maybe as we go along, we'll be able to analyze some of the statistics as to how many women worldwide experience violence and such. And maybe I'll share in the next couple of questions here.
Okay, but why don't we start there with the statistics?
Oh, super. Thank you. Yeah, so in terms of statistics globally, we say that about 736 million women have experienced violence in one form or another. This could be in the form of physical violence, or it could be emotional violence, where the intimate partner kind of tries to bully the female gender by actually making them feel that they are the ones who are at fault. And then there's the sexual violence. So maybe when I look back in time, when I was younger, maybe in the 80s, 90s, you would rarely hear about gender-based violence. As you'd maybe hear one out of because we used to stay in communities, you'll hear maybe one case maybe in a month. So you can see that is very, very limited. But I think maybe partly this could have been because these things were either not being reported or two, because we didn't have the technology, we didn't have the TVs, we didn't have the radios, we didn't have the internet, so that people could share these statistics. And also culturally, especially for African countries, many women and many girls actually believed that it was okay for them to be kind of abused by their male partners. They viewed it as the male was macho. But I think we've come to realize that there's nothing much about it. It's actually violence, and we need to all work on it. So again, statistically, when you look at data from UN Women, you see that around 34 to 45% of women between 15 and 49 have experienced some form of gender-based violence. And in Kenya in particular, where I come from, they say it's 1 in 3. But though I believe that it's a lot higher, only that it's not documented. I see it as being maybe 50%, maybe 56% of all women and girls have somehow been abused in some form or the other in their lifetime.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that statistics. And they say globally is 1 in 3, 1 in 3 women and girls. But switching it to I like to say that we have not mastered the art of ending gender-based violence against women and girls of the old. Like you mentioned domestic violence, you mentioned sexual abuse, and there are other violences that is on that list. But now there is an addition, the digital violence, because of this new this introduction to the internet and cyber. So we have cyberbullying, we have cyber stalking, we have deep fake, we have doxing, and all the other forms of digital violence. And what is alarming is the statistics of this new wave of violence is pretty high. I'm not sure if you saw that statistics too.
Yes. Yes, so I've looked at the statistics. I think they say that in terms of technologically based gender-based violence, again, the numbers are actually quite high. When you look at it, maybe initially the violence was maybe more physical, and we used to hear it more from the radio or TV point of view. So it was very limited. But I think in-come technology, and I think I would particularly say with by the time when we especially came to COVID, a lot of people got to have some form of technology, whether it was for academics, whether it was for working from home. But there's a lot of access to internet across the world. And when you look at technologically based gender-based violence, I think I can say the number one form is in the form of unwanted sexual content image being sent to the female gender. And also, like you correctly said, there's the issue of doxing, where you find that particularly men would share certain photos or videos of women in a manner likely to shame them and or to bully them into doing certain things that they want. And I think this kind of expectation is what we need to all talk against. Then even when you look at our young girls, I think you find that now more than ever they have access to the internet and they have access to smartphones which they didn't have before. So you find that they get to, for example, they would go to Instagram, they would go to other dating sites which are available. And in some of these sites, they'll find people who are not very good people, pedophiles or abusers. And this is where a lot of our girls are being really abused. So I think I normally look at it in the form that we need to, one, educate particularly our girls as they grow up, so that even when they are still small, they know that I should not accept this, and I should not access this kind of sites, and I should not talk to strangers on the internet. The same way we tell them, we used to be told when we were young, don't talk to strangers, don't do this. Now we need to tell them not to do that online. And I think it's very key that we teach them some kind of online discipline so that they are not exposed and they are not abused. And maybe now, as I speak about this, I could also just share that, like even in my country, there was a girl who was 12 years old who was killed over the last weekend, and she met somebody online. So they think that they are meeting somebody of their age group, but the person is actually not their age group. The person is an adult who went and abused the young girl and killed her. So I think we need to particularly tell our young girls to be very careful who they interact with online and not to trust people easily, so that they don't expose themselves to technologically based gender-based violence.
Thank you for sharing that story, and thank you for raising the issue of teaching our young girls, I would want to say, the rules and even the tricks and trade of the internet. And this is an issue that I think it's a global issue, where we have underage girls, they're being groomed by adults who pretend to be their peers and lure them out of their homes, and then they're confronted with an adult who has already groomed them. What are some measures parents can put in place to help their adolescent daughters and even sons to avoid this pitfall of grooming and being allured out of the house to meet someone that you don't know?
Thank you. Yeah, so I think it's a very good point. I think the key thing is to stick to the old adage. Don't talk to strangers. You need to, before you talk to anybody, before you meet somebody, you need to be sure to tell